Hey, good evening. It's your girl Nicole L. Gatson back with another 7 minutes on the Sabbath. And today we're talking about love. And I decided to go to Rebekah to talk about love. She is a woman of obsessive love, and this is the type of love that we should not possess. Love is and should be unconditional, and it shouldn't be possessive or obsessive at any point. And at any point that it does become possessive and obsessive, you should exit immediately, whether it's family, friends, a relationship, any ship that you're in, and it's obsessive and possessive. That's not love. That's a demon, and you need to get away from that as quick as possible. So in Genesis, Rebekah had two sons, and we're going to go into it in the Women of Color Bible. Get your Women of Color study Bibles. And it reads, Rebekah was unable to conceive children for nearly 20 years after marrying Isaac. But Isaac prayed for his wife, and finally Rebekah conceived twin boys, Jacob and Esau, which is in Genesis 25:19 through 26. So you can read that. Although Esau was the eldest and entitled to his father's inheritance and blessing, Rebekah favored her younger son Jacob and desired that he take the place of Esau as an inheritor. When the opportunity arose, Rebekah helped Jacob deceive his father. Isaac, who had become old, feeble, and blind, bestowed upon Jacob the family blessing, an inheritance that was intended for Esau, which is in Genesis 27:1 through 30. Rebekah later protected Jacob from Esau's wrath by sending him to live with her brother in Haran. Unfortunately, Rebekah and Jacob were never reunited, and upon her death, Rebekah was buried in the family ground. So this lady died, never saw her son again. It is instinctive and proper for a woman, a wife and mother, to love passionately. That's our basic instinct. But Rebekah's love for Jacob became a selfish, jealous love that led to favoritism of one child over another, which you should never do as a mom. Her love for Jacob also led to her compromise over her love and loyalty for her own husband. She was determined to do what she thought would help Jacob, at the expense of both Esau and Isaac. Unlike Rebekah's case, sometimes we hear that crime of passions have ultimately led to deaths of innocent people. As mothers and spouses, we must take care that our love for our children and our spouses does not become an obsessive love, a love that will allow us to succumb to the temptation of Satan, to betray moral ethics, covenant relationships, and spiritual commitments. As women of God, our love should always be pure and subject to the Spirit of God. God's love for us serves as the ultimate, true example of pure love, a love that is unconditional, shows no bias or favoritism, and is not jealous or boastful. Unselfish motives or desires define pure love, which is in 1 Corinthians 13:7 through 8. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres, and above all, it never fails. And what I'm talking about is love. So, to really love somebody is to always protect them, trust them, hope for the best for them. You persevere and you strive for the best, and you never fail. You never give up. When you love someone, you never give up, no matter what it is. Unless they just like, hey, I need to do me, you need to do you, and that means away from me. And that is when you leave. Don't become obsessive like, well, I'm not ready to go yet, so you can't leave yet. No, that's not okay. Because a lot of times, like it said in the text, it leads to death. Okay, and so our reflection question is going to be, evaluate the love you have for your family members. Go evaluate the love you have for your mother, if you have children, your husband, your father, your sister, your brother. Evaluate those relationships. Evaluate all your ships. And find out what kind of love it is that you possess for the people in your life. How can you make sure your love is pure and subject to God's spirit and not your own selfish gain? Because a lot of times we love for selfish gain. And I'm guilty of it. In a few of my relationships, I've done it myself. I've loved people for selfish gain. And ultimately, they left, they were removed, or I asked them to leave because it was selfish. And in my mind, at the time, I didn't think it was selfish. It was like, I love them. I want them with me. But you can't always have everything your way. People are in your life for a reason, a season. And you just gotta decide what it is. Is it temporary? Is it permanent? Are they passing through? Some people loop back around. That happens to me sometimes. What lesson was it you were supposed to learn? Because that obviously maybe that person is not supposed to be in your life. And it just loop back around to remind you not to go backwards. So you have to really evaluate every ship in your life and ask yourself, what kind of love is this? Is this unconditional love, or is this some selfish type of love? Is it a possessive love? Is it a failing love? Go and read 1 Corinthians. I gave you it already. It's your girl. I got your back. Holla at me. You can DM me. I'm not weird. Like, I'm not going to answer your questions because, no question is a dumb question. You know what a dumb question is? A question that you don't ask. So if you don't understand anything that I've said and you have a question, you can DM me and I'll answer that question. I have no problem helping anybody get an understanding of the basic instructions before leaving Earth, I have to say, because everybody should know. So good night. I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it. Peace and blessings.